G'day, McGormaganders. This is the Federation Conversation. How you doing?
Now with a snazzy new logo, as prepared by Scotty. Have you seen the logo?
I didn't see it.
The logo is available on all the MP3 versions.
I'm sure we'll add it in post.
Yeah, it'll be on there.
Welcome to episode 9 of the Federation Conversation.
We've had a bit
I'm David.
Yeah, I'm Scotty.
This is Scotty. And
We had something of a hiatus.
it was a hiatus because the show had a hiatus. Yeah, what are we going to do? We're going to just podcast about nothing for 8
What
weeks?
we were going to do was podcast about the original series until the Discovery came back on. But
that is true, yes.
It's so much work.
Well, it's the holidays.
I see. I have no work to do with the original series podcast because I basically know the show. I can act out the episodes for you. But David here has to actually.
I do have to watch it. And, I've been busy over the holidays. Look, I got work. Anyway,
Discovery's back on the air. I'm personally,
Discovery's back.
on a
Episode
personal
10.
level, very glad to see the show again.
You glad to see the show again?
I am. This week's episode's called. I actually don't know
Despite
the name.
Yourself.
Okay, I knew everything but the name. Yeah.
Episode 10 of Discovery, Despite Yourself.
Yeah. And for those of you who
Despite Yourself.
just keep just getting to know Star Trek, we're taking a little trip in the mirror this week. It's. I'm so happy that it. I mean, it's totally not a surprise.
No,
Because
definitely
they
isn't.
telegraphed it harder than those people dying on the Titanic, but but it was yeah, beautiful.
You're
Straight-
happy to see the Mirror Universe?
in the first first minutes rather. This show, which I've complimented and subtly criticised for not wasting any time in getting around things. Sometimes they just jam it in straight away.
Yes.
It was the exact same thing with the revelations of this week of we're in the Mirror Universe, and by the way, Ash's Vok or whatever his name was.
Ash is Vok. Yes.
Confirmed.
It is definitely confirmed. On a more general note,
Yeah,
before we
what
get
do
into
you
the
think?
nitty
I've been
gritty,
babbling. How do you feel about it?
this is probably... See, I don't know. I haven't watched the Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad episode in a while.
I think you did watch it.
No, I did watch it, but I haven't watched it since it aired.
Okay, yeah.
That was my favourite episode. This one might be my favourite episode now.
Yeah, well, it's because...
And the reason
yeah.
for it, I don't know whether or not it's because Jonathan Frakes directed this episode,
Did he?
but it was a lot nicer to watch. I don't know. It was, and I don't think it's I've never really had a big opinion of him as a director before.
Well, he did.
So it's not like me knowing that somehow,
He knocked it out of the park with First Contact.
First Contact was great, obviously. But
Slick.
slick.
That's one of those words that's off my list.
But it's one of those things where, I don't know how much sway a director has in how obviously a lot, but I don't know how much they have in how the episode actually ends
On
up
a
in the end.
TV show, I often wonder how much influence they have.
Because you can't just come in and just
Because shows have
fucking do whatever you want.
showrunners and the writers, and there's a different creative impetus, and
Yeah.
it's got to fit into other episodes. And I never know if the director has as much swing, but no, it was definitely.
When people are talking about The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson directed all those great episodes of Breaking Bad. Did he direct? I mean, was it just a coincidence that those were really good episodes, or was it because of him?
Maybe they were great scripts, and they gave them to him because they knew.
Because I don't know. I don't know.
It's complicated, but I know that's a revelation to me. I did not know Frakes had a hand in this one. I knew he'd be directing something this season.
No,
but,
it was this episode.
Well, I mean, they gave him the right one. It's much more Star Trek-y than what I'm used to from these people.
Yeah, definitely. I think the show kind of meandered around a bit,
Yeah.
and now it feels like it's kind of going somewhere.
Maybe. No, I don't know.
I mean, maybe not. But
It might go nowhere, but I like the mirror thing. I like how it's delivered me the Star Trek trope of once everyone goes to the mirror universe, their acting gland just goes out the window and they all start to act really cool and serious and
get really
let's be
bad at
honest,
acting?
kind of gay. Well, I mean, it stems from...
who are you talking about specifically? The helmsman guy?
I'd need to watch it again. Okay, yeah, that guy who in the Prime universe... Well, what do we call it? Fuck, I don't know.
The normal universe.
In the normal Discovery universe, he died when
Yes.
Shenju died.
It's funny. As soon as he popped up, I was like, "Is that Anton Yelchin?"
I was
They
kind of
got
like,
him
we know that guy.
back from the
Who is he?
grave, yeah.
I didn't recognise him from the... But anyway, yeah, he comes back from the dead because in
Yes.
the Mirror Universe he's still alive. And he's having that ting
for tat.
ting
for tang.
ting for tang. He's having that little chat with Ensign Tilly, who's now a captain.
Yes.
Mirror captain. Fantastic. I actually think she should wear her hair down more often.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I like her look in the mirror.
Yeah, I know you do. I didn't even have to discuss this with you prior.
Wait, what are
What are you implying, David?
What are you implying? No. Sorry, I'm a little out of it. I'm more on the headache tablets. But
Yeah.
basically, I didn't recognise him And then he turns up, and then he starts this weird kind of cool 80s guy shark talking that they all seem to do in the Mirror Universe, and I don't understand it. And then Burnham starts up with the two because they have to blend in and pretend they're mirror people.
Yeah.
And I don't know, how do you nail it down? Because you've seen more mirror episodes than me, because you've seen Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
What is it in their mode of speech that makes them, like, mirror-y? Is it lots of metaphors for things? Using your head as a toilet, and like what?
They kind of.
What is it?
I don't know, because I mean, a lot of the mirror stuff that I've seen,
it's very bad.
I think Deep Space Nine did a weird thing where they were just kind of they were playing it for laughs instead of playing it for like.
Yeah.
Ooh, imagine if there was a mirror universe and everything was, because it was mostly just comedy and lesbians.
What if Major Kira was a lesbian?
Yeah, it was played a lot differently, but it's just, they're just all. It's very stereotypically evil.
And I mean, it's reached its zenith in Enterprise.
I watched a few clips of the Enterprise episode again, like where he's sitting on the ship and he's talking, destroy them! And that is absolutely the worst mirror acting, maybe the worst acting in the entire Star Trek.
Isn't it weird how people are like, the fourth season was the best and that Mirror Universe episode was amazing?
I've been reading a little bit of that recently as well, where it really picks up in season 3 and 4. That's where the good stuff is. It's like, every time I've watched anything from season 4 or 3 of Enterprise, it was fucking terrible.
For me, the last time I saw that was when they were discussing the one before the finale.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, well, that should have been the finale, it was way better. And then I actually sat down and tried to watch some of it.
And they had Robocop going, I live on the moon.
You don't get used to the low oxygen.
My granddad lived on the moon.
Oh, shit. Well, there's that interruption I was going to... I don't know if it's just a relative thing, like they think the show got better, but even relatively speaking, I can't, at this distance of now that 12 years have gone by, I can't tell the difference between a good episode and a bad episode of Enterprise. Like, it's...
To be honest, like, the first 2 seasons weren't great, but there are a few episodes in there that kind of feel like okay Star Trek, it's passable.
I remember that feeling. I remember thinking, this isn't too bad.
Yeah, this is okay. I mean, like, they're introducing the characters and stuff, and it's, they had the,
But the whole backbone of the show was that...
I hate season 3 because it's just
the problem
too
was
hand-fisted.
I don't think it ever had a chance because the whole backbone of the show was stuff that sucked. Like the Time War and those Zindies or whatever they were called. Like that. Those concepts were just kind of lame and they made the mistake of basing the whole show around them.
Come a little closer, Scotty.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just...
Get in the action.
Yeah. I may have to get up again. I don't know. Maybe.
Anyway. So, we're not talking about Enterprise.
Yeah.
That's in 200 episodes' time, Scotty. Right now, we're talking about Discovery.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is probably my favourite episode, next to the Harry Mudd episode.
Yeah,
the time jump episode.
It's the most clearly Star Trek-y one that I can envision coming because, now that the show's going again, how many more episodes are there before it's...
I think it might be like... 5 more episodes, yeah.
Or whatever. The rest of them will just be some Discovery shit about how, look, Ash Tyler's really, blah, blah, blah. But this was a clear Star Trek episode. They're in the Mirror Universe now.
I mean...
We all have to go, Kopla! Oh, no, whatever they...
Long live the Empire!
Long live the Empire, yeah.
I feel conflicted about that, because, like, how long are they going to be in the Mirror Universe?
Well, they're going to find a way home. That's going to take at least 3 episodes.
That's the thing. Like, they're going to take a few episodes in there, and it's like...
Yeah.
I don't know, is it going to last? Because the Mirror Universe thing is a good one-off kind of... Imagine if everything was different. For one episode, we all saw our favourite people as evil people.
What I want to know...
But is it going to last, like, 3 or 4 episodes? Because, look, the Mirror Universe episodes of Deep Space Nine, they...
Maybe Discovery won't be the ones to answer this question for me. But what happens to the Mirror guys when they go to the normal universe? Do they try and blend in, or do they just fuck shit up?
I mean, they did mention that the Discovery probably swapped places with the other Discovery. So...
In original series Star Trek, the Mirror guys get sent to the normal universe and get thrown in the brig for being raving lunatics.
It's quick.
So...
Well, I mean, that's because there were, like, 3 people on a ship, right? On a ship with normal
Captain
people.
Kirk walked off the transporter pad and said, "Hey, what's up, faggot?" And then instantly they knew it wasn't him. They're like,
whoa.
Okay, get him in jail.
Something's happened. No, but if the whole ship is evil, what happens?
A fan film tried to answer this question. You know that fan series that was being done until just recently? Starring Vic Mignogna.
Continues.
Yeah, continues.
Yeah.
They did the episode of Mirror TOS, except they did the Mirror guys on the... Actually, no, I can't... No. They did what happens when Mirror Kirk comes back to the Mirror Universe. So actually, what I was about to say is completely invalid.
So,
I can't think of any examples. Mirror guys in normal universe. Mirror guys here. There's the one.
Well, there's a few episodes.
There's the one scene in the original series where Kirk's like, whatever your game is, Spock, I'll play it. Do you want credits to be a rich man? I love that fucking scene. It's like,
not really a mirror.
Yeah, that's him. That's Mirror Kirk trying to bribe normal Spock to get him out of the
Is it?
It was like my favourite scene of Star Trek. You know what else I'm wanting to take bets on?
Yes.
Who's the Emperor? Is it Shinju? What's her name?
Giorgio.
Captain Giorgio? Or is it Mud?
See,
Ooh.
the thing about TV shows nowadays
Yeah.
is that it's impossible to have a twist because everyone's already guessed everything.
This is true. But I mean, used to guess
this isn't like they're not really concealing it that amazingly. Like it's a really deep mystery that people are solving.
Yeah.
You know, they just said there's an emperor, and you know, obviously we're going to find out who it is.
I don't think
and
it's
obviously
Giorgio.
it's going to be somebody that we know. I think it's going to be her.
Because in Enterprise, Hoshi calls herself Empress, which is way sexier.
Yeah, but they just say faceless emperor. It could be anyone.
No, okay, I guess.
And it's probably Giorgio.
It's got to be Giorgio. It wouldn't be Mud.
I mean, it could be Mud.
Maybe it's normal Mud.
Those are the two.
Yeah.
Those are the two options, really. But yeah, the thing about the internet is that they just guess everything before it happens. So
Yeah.
one thing I liked about the way they revealed Ash as Vok,
It didn't take long. It was in the first 10 minutes.
it was at 13 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But the thing about it is that they kind of didn't. There wasn't like a big. Oh, you're Vok, and then like it goes, "Zzzz," and then there's an ad break or something.
Yeah.
They just kind of. It felt like they assumed that we knew, kind of. Because most people did.
But
know.
maybe it was in the edit. Maybe they were kind of like, listen, guys, they've guessed this already. Can we just...
So we can't just have the big reveal be this. Because
No,
it was just kind of very like, this is what it is. And here's another 3 minutes before you get a break.
My initial impression of it was just that, all that shit aside, in the story what's happening is she's using his programming.
Yes.
The code words. This
Yes.
is what you do when you send an agent undercover and he has no idea he's an agent.
Yes,
you say to
he's
him,
the Winter Soldier, yeah.
yeah. Is that a...
Yeah, sorry.
Don't reference Marvel shit. I don't know any of it.
Sorry.
Yeah, but anyway. So that's yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Fuck, mate.
No, I really like the way they did it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it kind of... I would assume if you didn't know that was the deal, then that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. I thought it was cool anyway.
I don't know. I don't think I could possibly conceive of myself as being a person who's watched this much of the show and not guessed by now.
I don't know. I think if I didn't read anything on the internet about the show, I probably wouldn't have wouldn't have put that much thought into it.
I wouldn't have caught onto it as soon as everybody else did, but with the constant Wolverine flashbacks, it's kind of giving it away.
Yeah. Probably.
And the fact that he's constantly eating really hot food and just...
do you have any worms? Can I eat some worms?
really spicy beers, he just can't get enough of this shit.
No,
I don't know.
one thing I liked about that scene, especially, is that now that we know for sure that was him under the makeup.
He's Vok, because he's not just some other Klingon?
Well, no, just because I just like that the actor was under the makeup because it sounds exactly like him. Like as soon as he does, he goes,
I packed shits the second he started talking in Klingon and was laughing.
He just looks at the camera and goes, Kailash.
Like he's not even got the prosthetics and his voice sounds all like he's got a mouthful of jelly beans.
And that's another thing. It's like maybe they could talk perfectly fine through all that stuff, and they were just putting a voice on. Because I thought it was all the prosthetics that were making it weird. But then he instantly puts that Klingon voice on. It's like, oh.
Well, you think back to 90s Star Trek, and the Klingons always sounded a little off, but they were able to more or less pronounce stuff when they had to.
I think Worf had just normal teeth, didn't he?
No, he had funny teeth. Maybe they had. Jeez, my hairs.
I think maybe he had weird teeth at the start, but they just gave him pretty much normal teeth halfway through the show.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he had to say a whole bunch of stuff.
Damn it,
And he had to be in every episode.
My memory is not keeping up with me that I'm trying to hear the sound bites in my head of Worf talking. Hang on a minute.
I think he just has normal teeth.
Let's consult the database, because I know we've got...
Well, you know what Worf sounds like, but...
well.
I am a Klingon. A demonstration can be arranged.
That's early.
That's a slightly impeded voice.
A demonstration can be arranged.
And such
Right,
lines...
now go to something...
Such famous lines as...
I have the baby.
With Worf.
That sounds less impaired.
I have been betrayed. Have I become a
I want some baseball cards.
Baseball.
Give me some baseball cards.
2 men on. Two men on. was a ball and you know it.
That's all Cisco.
Anyway,
His teeth were kind of weird. Anyway,
yeah,
I've only just thought of this now, but
yeah.
what is the actual mission of Vok? Like, why is he?
I don't know. That's one other thing I had.
He must be the worst agent in the world. Now he's like stranded with them in unknown territory. It's like, now wouldn't be the time to hatch his plot. Wouldn't you wait till you get back to the Federation?
Wasn't it? They had the spore drive on the Discovery. Vok found out about it,
Yeah.
and so did It's not Core. It's
Cole.
Cole.
Yeah.
Cole. Yeah. Cole found out about it as well, and then they wanted to find some way to get the technology and bring it back to the Klingons so that they could win the war.
I guess. Well, Cole just
And
wants to
then
win
she
the
said, if you want to get the technology, you have to sacrifice everything.
war. Yeah.
And then he goes... And then Ash Tyler shows up. I think he was there to steal the spore drive plans?
Well, it's the only thing worth stealing on that ship, I think.
I think that was it.
We need more disco shirts. They cost too much. Roddenberry.com.
I feel like that was the thing, because, I mean, it must have happened like the same... Like, it must have been the episode they figured out the spore drive and the episode that he disappeared with the same episode.
Yeah.
But that was the reason, because it was espionage, basically. And then she deliberately got captured by the Discovery.
There's so much in this episode. I mean, the thing I've seen most people complaining about... I don't want to jump ship, but there's just something else that came
Okay,
up.
yeah.
The thing that I saw most people
To be
complain
honest,
about...
I love this episode, so...
There's a trope that I didn't know existed. It's bury your gays, or bury the gays.
Oh,
Which
okay.
one is it? Bury
just
your
say
gay.
Bury the...
Sounds like, as I said to
Bury
you,
your
sounds like
gay,
a Mike
right.
David rap. It's like... it's like...
It's the trope where you...
Have a gay character.
And then you kill them off. Because they've done the important part of being on the show and showing diversity.
I just want to say, I think this is kind of a bullshit notion. It's like, I mean, they're going to kill someone. It's like...
They definitely have to kill someone. Yeah, it's definitely
mean,
a thing where, like, just because they're killing the gay character doesn't mean they're subverting the... You know,
I can understand people who
diversity of the
complain about
show.
it as a trope, and because it's not one that I knew about. But if it really does happen all that often, then I hear you. I understand. But at the same time, I mean, it's kind of setting up an interesting scenario now because people are going to find the body and assume that Alan Tudyk killed his boyfriend in a
Alan
fit
Tudyk,
of.
But yes.
Well, whoever he is. What's his name? Stamets. Okay, Stamets is in this coma, and then the next person that comes into sickbay is going to find Stamets there.
Anthony Rapp.
They're in the palace or whatever, and his dead boyfriend on the floor.
Don't go in the palace.
Don't go in the palace, whatever. Sorry, I can't quite remember all the dialogue from this episode yet.
Sorry.
But anyway, so they've set that scenario. That's going to be great.
Well, another
Ash
thing
has
is, I
unwittingly
think...
framed Stamets for murder.
Another thing is, I think he's not entirely done from the... gone from the show anyway.
well, yeah.
I think he's going to be in future
That's
episodes.
what pisses
but-
me off about it, though, is we can't even have twists anymore. Like, with the Ash is really Vok thing, they've been screaming it at us without saying it for weeks now.
Yeah.
And now with this thing, with, what's his name, Dr. Colbert?
Colbert.
Whatever his name is. He's dead, and immediately on After Track, or Talking Track, or whatever the show's called, they're like, don't worry, he's not really dead! It's like, can't you let us have some suspense?
Yeah, I don't like that show. I've never watched it, but it's like one of those things where, like, just let the show be out there, and then stop answering questions about it, because
Not every show needs a companion show. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. First of all, I don't think it's that bad that they I mean...
Yeah, again, they have to kill somebody, and it gives Stamets a whole lot more things to...
You're going to have to do that thing where you re-aim the camera if I go off track here, but if I say something I shouldn't say,
Okay,
but
go on.
if they really want equality, in that future where we're all square and everything's fine,
They have to get murdered sometimes.
yeah.
And the girls.
And the
security officer girl,
See, that just sounds
fucker,
so wrong.
and the captain,
it's not what I
fucker.
want to say, but it's like, at some point, occasionally, statistically, one or two of them might get knocked off, and it not be a trope. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe this is just the first of the murders where it didn't happen because he's...
I mean,
can't do it. There's a point I'm trying to articulate. and I
It's
can't.
one of those things that I don't really care that much about, because we're very early in the show, first off.
Yeah.
Also, we don't know what they're going to do with it. You know, if they just completely erase him from the show and Stamets has one line where he goes, "Oh, I miss my boyfriend," you know, then that's good. Obviously, that's bad.
Here's
But
the thing.
it's character development for
I'll be totally
Stamets.
honest with you. I didn't think of it as the murder of an LGBTQIA+ character until I got on the internet and watched it afterwards. When I watched it, I was just like, "Oh, that was a bit unnecessary." Like,
I just thought of the murder of a really nice guy. How nice is he?
he's a nice.
Like when he says, "What are they imagining what are you imagining that they've done to you?" And he's like, "I'm not imagining." It's like, I didn't mean it in that way. I meant it like imagining like
he's
things
the
that we
nicest
don't know
man
yet.
on the ship.
Yeah, well, this guy's amazing.
I want that
This guy's a
doctor.
great doctor.
Sign me up.
Every time somebody snaps at him, he's got like a,
What I hope they haven't gone and done though is when they say he's not really dead, are they just going to abduct the mirror one and like make him nice, or what's the?
One theory that I saw, which
Yeah.
is a bit out there, and like there's no clues in the show as to why that would be the case. But maybe in the mirror universe, he's the one who is in the spore drive. And then when they get him back, they're both spore drive guys.
Ooh, like
That
kind of
might be
albino salamander guys that look.
Well, no. No, I just mean they've got the things on. They've got the things in their arms.
Okay.
And
They can really
They
link
run
up.
the spore drive. Yeah.
They can have that union that gay men have been angling for generations. Oh, no.
That was one theory, but I mean,
Okay.
who knows? I don't know why he would be in the spore drive.
Honestly, I've tried to not second guess the show because I don't know. I don't like being manipulated. It's almost like a show constructed to make you start guessing and podcasting about.
Yeah.
And podcasting, fine, we can just sit here and say what we thought of it, but it's for theorising, I don't know. I feel like I'm jumping through the hoops that they've set out for me.
It's definitely not as bad as like. See, when I was watching Westworld,
Yeah.
I just kind of all those theories and stuff were just kind of
The problem with,
bouncing off me because it was like this is too much to
And I
wonder
liked-
about. You
I
know?
liked Westworld, but the problem with that show was it showed you what the show could have been first, and then took you on this down the garden path of fucking mysteries and different timelines and stuff. I was like, actually, I just want to watch a show about a theme park. Can't we just watch the?
Definitely.
Hey, the robot in the saloon's broken down. Let's go in there and recover.
That it could just be like a sitcom, like a multi-camera no, not a multi-camera. Sorry, a single camera.
Not even a
Filmed in
sitcom.
front of a live studio audience.
When Abernathy comes to life, what incredible acting! And I didn't see acting that good in the rest of the show. I just
Who's
saw
Abernathy?
Abernathy's the guy with the photo.
Oh, the old guy. Yeah. Was he the start of the show?
It was in the first episode.
The first
Yeah.
episode. Yeah.
And Dolores, oof. Anyway, so Discovery. What have we not talked about yet? The Scottish accent, excellent work. Got to say, Captain Lorca's still my favourite actor on the program.
He's very good. There was an impeccable Scottish accent,
A lot better than Simon Pegg
and
as a human and actor.
it feels a bit more Star Trek-y just because they have those little moments of like humor, like interspersed.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I know it's been in previous episodes of this show. You know,
Yeah.
they have little bits of humor and stuff like that, but. I don't know, something about that particular moment was just very Star Trek-y.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I can't really put that into words.
No,
But just like
no.
it felt good.
It works for me.
It's the Jonathan Frakes effect.
I just randomly looked at my notes on that.
Yeah.
I promised David I wouldn't read them because he hates my notes, I've discovered. But
Well, ha ha ha. Open quotes. Captain Sex Beast Tilly. Close quotes.
that's pretty funny. Anyway.
No, but it's not a note.
Oh, well, okay. Anyway, what I was going to say was, how come the intergalactically recognized space rogue costume is now a big trench coat? They're all wearing them. Benedict Cumberbatch wears one
Cumberbatch.
Into Darkness. I'm pretty sure Benicio del Toro wears
Yeah.
one in Last Jedi. Why the trench coat? Can't you just... Whatever happened to the Han Solo jacket? That's what I want to know.
Well, you can't wear a Han Solo because now it's called a Han Solo jacket. You can't wear it
So now they're wearing out the trench coat until that becomes too obvious. And then
until
they're like-
one particular character becomes iconic for wearing a trench coat.
It's kind of a limp question, I admit. But I just want to know why did that become the look?
Wasn't Picard wearing one when he was?
No, he just wears a straight leather jacket. He
Oh,
sneaks
it's just
into
a
the
leather
armory
jacket, no lower.
to steal a bunch of phasers, and then the door opens.
And the Data comes in with a leather jacket as well, dude.
hate.
And Frakes is wearing a leather jacket.
Look, not that
Geordie's wearing a leather jacket.
not that Star Trek Insurrection is one of my favourite films by any stretch, but as far as particular scenes that make me sad, that one is.
It's a sad scene. They couldn't even decide on
I think that
one
was actually-
punchline.
That was
for
the
Data
moment
to
when
say.
Star Trek died.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They couldn't even think of one punchline for Data to say. They had to have to say two.
If that wasn't the
Buckle up,
moment,
lock and load.
if that wasn't the moment where it died, maybe it was the bit where F. Murray Abraham dies in the collector. Ah! And the fire comes up him.
I'm trying to think of when Insurrection was in relation to all the
when
other...
Star Trek died.
No, I'm just, like, when Insurrection was in relation to all the other Star Trek. Because I'm just trying to see if anything good came after that.
It was 1999.
1999.
So basically, Deep Space Nine was more or less gone.
And there was, like, the last 2 seasons of Voyager. There was some good stuff in the last 2 seasons of Voyager.
Mainly revolving around Jerry Ryan, though.
Yeah, obviously. But...
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a big fan of Captain Sex Beast Tilly. Gotta say, this universe suits her a lot more.
yeah.
What's with all this, oh yeah, you'd like her stuff? I mean, I'm not that predictable, am I?
Well, sorry, when I saw her get all sexy and evil...
Yeah, with the
And
dress.
Scotty don't even know evil. Yes!
Lick my boots.
I just like this episode, you know? It doesn't have too much of that stupid Klingon stuff where
Yeah.
they're just standing around a room talking to each other very slowly and talking to each other. It's all boring and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have... What was the other stuff I didn't like? Oh, nothing about Sarek or Vulcans.
Oh, well, I mean, did you see the Next Time on Discovery segment?
I saw an Andorian. Well, I saw a picture of an Andorian, that's all I saw.
Next week on Discovery, we get to see Sarek with a goatee.
I don't want to see Sarek anymore.
I don't want to see Sarek ever again.
Sarek.
I mean, I kind of wondered when they said he'd be in the show, I was like, oh, what are they going to do with this? Fine, whatever. Maybe he'll be in every 5 episodes.
I don't really like anything they've done with him so far.
I
so
absolutely hate everything about Sarek in this. The actor looks like a gimp. The concept of him liking his exchange student adopted daughter more than his own son, even troubled as their relationship was, I don't buy it for a minute. I'd rather cut off my own leg than have
He
some
just doesn't-
freeloader in my house. But
When you watch him, nothing of it reminds me of Sarek.
yeah, there's no
It's
essential
just
character.
another Vulcan guy.
That's really what bugged me about the J.J. Abrams movies, though. Everybody had the same names, but there was very few, I'll say. Very few moments where any of it felt like it was essentially the same characters.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have gone there and happily enjoyed different actors being them. But just the people that were there were not likable. Chris Pine, there's no charisma there. He sucks.
He's okay.
No, he stinks.
No, he stinks.
You need just, watch a couple of Chris Pine movies where he's not being Captain Kirk and you realise actually what you were watching all that time was just Chris Pine.
Yeah?
Bring some more guys, it'll be even fight. Oh, come on.
Yeah, it was very
He
un-Kirk
sucks,
anyway.
man.
Yeah,
Maybe
so...
I'm being too negative? I don't know.
No, one thing that people are complaining about, I haven't actually seen many people complain about it, but just people referencing other people complaining about it,
Yeah.
is the Constitution class they show. Apparently it looks different.
It was a little fucked with, yeah. Well, it was, yeah.
Was it fucked with?
Yeah, didn't you see it?
I didn't really notice. And also, do I care?
You need an eye for detail. Well, they've changed every other detail in this show. Look, I mean...
One of the things I worry about when they bring up a Constitution class from the original, from
Yeah.
the normal timeline or whatever, because this is still in the normal timeline, whatever, we're not going to...
Yeah.
Is that it would look too much like TOS?
Yeah.
Because if they bring it in the Constitution and it looks exactly like it is in TOS, and so does the inside, that's gonna fuck
That would
with me
stick
more.
out like a sore thumb. Yeah.
That's gonna fuck with me more than if they changed everything.
I mean,
I'd prefer them just to change everything at that point. Also,
yeah, so you...
the what's it called? The Defiant
Yeah.
has been there for 100 years. They would have changed something anyway.
Yeah, well, they probably... Yeah.
Because I don't really remember the storyline of the Enterprise episode, because again I've watched it like once.
This is kind of where time travel and alternate universes really
The
fall on their
Defiant
asses.
jumps
They
back
don't-
100 years,
They don't work.
and
on TV
then
shows.
Archer takes control of it.
And then he gets poisoned, and now Sex Pants Linda Park is in charge.
Hoshi's in control of it,
Yeah.
and the Empire,
Yeah.
and so basically it's their flagship for the rest of the time.
Well, this isn't the same
it's
mirror universe.
future-
I wouldn't buy it for a second. I
future
just
ship.
think they're just making a new show called Star Trek using bits and pieces that they like.
Yeah.
They're just exercising their creative freedom to do whatever the fuck they want, but pick and choose. I mean, that's very simple to me. It doesn't have to tie in at all or look the same. Have I read that wrong?
Well,
Or-
were you annoyed the Constitution looked different?
No, I didn't give a shit. Every other design
noticed.
that they've reprised from somewhere else, including Harry Mudd, looks a little different to how it used to. Well, I mean, that's the thing.
A little bit.
I mean, like, they have Sarek and Harry Mudd on there, but they sure don't look the same. So, I mean, obviously, and they pay designers and concept artists and stuff to work on these shows. And they're not going to say to them, oh, yeah, we need this, and this from you, but don't worry about your Enterprise, we don't need that. We've already got one. I mean, you know. They have to give themselves work to do. It's in the
Yeah,
budget.
somebody has to 3D model it. And
I'm going to give you $20,000 to design a new Enterprise. Don't change it too much, though. Why? I don't want to do this. It's 20. I don't need the money. It's like, no, it's in the budget. Just do it. So, this is a behind-the-scenes look at the way TV is made.
that was how... That's how TV works.
No, look, have I bitched? I mean, I don't know. I do like the episode. It does feel a lot more like Star Trek.
No, it's my favourite episode.
There was a great bit, I just noticed from the notes there, there was actually a scene where Lorca told Burnham to do something, and she said, yes, sir.
What did she do?
I can't remember, but that's not what's important. What's important is there was no back-talking, there was no, like, 5-hour discussion on...
Now, hang on, Captain.
Let me think about this.
I know I'm annoying you, but just think about this rationally for a second.
No back-talk, no...
Look, Saru, I know you're naturally thinking I'm the enemy, but just for a second, think with your brain.
I am not one of your animals in it.
I really hate that.
Yeah, that's why I like this mirror universe. It's like they're in over their heads, and finally, Burnham is just obeying orders. Although, at the end there, she's getting it on with Ash Tyler, who's just killed Dr. Culber. And Lorca's in the torture dome. Oh! Priorities, I mean, she's...
I don't know what to think about Ash Tyler generally now. Because, obviously, he's not in control of what he's doing.
Yeah. Is he, though?
So I feel sympathy for him in that case.
Going back to Westworld for a minute, though.
Yeah.
I mean...
I don't feel sympathy for Bernard.
Tandy Newton.
Oh, yep.
Right, suddenly she thinks she's self-aware.
Yes.
And immediately...
And she needs to immediately get the fuck out of this park.
But then in the finale, she's on the train and realizes that actually, all along, her programming has been telling her to leave the park. So what she does is she goes back into the park. So
I didn't say the last episode.
So when is Tandy Newton? When is Tandy Newton really aware? Is it before or after? Is awareness just programming? So this whole Ash Tyler, does he really know what he's doing thing? I mean, like,
yeah.
What I wanted to ask you was, no, I've forgotten because I spent so long talking about Westworld. But no.
Welcome to the. Yeah. Anyway.
So what do you mean?
What do I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, how much guilt? Well, how evil is Ash Tyler?
Oh, does he remember killing Dr. Colbert, for instance? Or?
I'm sure he does remember that. I'm sure he remembers it because he he came to it and he was dead on the floor and he went, "Oh, fuck!" And then he went on this mission quickly so he didn't have to deal with it. And then at the end he says, "I'm everything. You know, if anything comes out that I've killed one of our friends." Just remember that I really want to protect you, and I'm doing everything I can to protect you. That's basically what he was saying at the end. He's very aware of what he did.
The speech that he gave Bo Burnham wasn't really a leg opener by any stretch. Like, it was kind of creepy. If I were her, I would.
It was creepy. It was like, I'm going to do anything to stay with you. No matter what happens.
I feel like there's
everything that I've done.
That's the Walter White speech. Everything that I've done for this
family. Yeah.
There's more that happened this week. I'm just trying to remember.
There's more that was looking at your notes.
Sarek with a goatee.
What about the elevator fight? That was pretty good.
Oh. Was there an elevator fight? Oh, between the gay guy and Bo Burnham.
Yeah, well, he wasn't gay.
I don't like...
You can't just call everyone gay when there's actual gay characters on the show. You gotta be more specific.
No, but this is the equal future where it's a lost all meaning, and do we even know if he's really gay? Who cares? Doesn't matter. They're all gay. No, that's the plan. It's to make
That's the plan!
The elevator fight was pretty, well...
Was it well choreographed?
I
liked it.
I've lost all, like, I don't know, impression of what good martial arts and bad martial arts is now. Like, I can't really tell. It's all kind of...
I didn't think it was edited too fast or anything.
No, it wasn't
generally
ridiculously fast editing.
It reminded me
like a Taken movie
of the Captain America elevator fight, which everyone raves about as very good choreography. So,
yeah. Well, no, I'll acquiesce to that.
Mostly because it's in an elevator and it's a fight.
No, it was a fair fight. What was it? No. He
was it a fair fight?
No, I mean fair.
One of them tried to shoot the other one.
It was an all right sort of.
Also, he surprise attacked her. Wasn't really fair.
Didn't he say something really like a bit of a giveaway right before he tried to kill her?
Oh, I just figured out how I'm going to make everyone like me. And then he attacked her.
The fight, yeah, it was okay. It was, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we have much else to talk about the episode.
No,
I'm very happy that the show's back and it seems to be in good form. I'm very ready for it to not be in such good form next week or whatever, because, you know.
The Cooper, I mean, the captain of the other ship on the Cooper, that vocal talent,
The bad
first
guy?
class for a video game. For a AAA television show, I'm not so sure.
So you don't mean...
Hey, Discovery!
Hey, Discovery!
Looks like you took on those pirates by yourself.
You took on a lot of bad guys. You trying to find more bad guys? Hey, why aren't you on the view screen?
It wasn't bad vocal talent, but something sounded off. It sounded too clean, maybe. He was too well-spoken to be a tough renegade captain. Like,
Hey, wait a minute.
hey, where's your
Why
shield?
aren't you
I don't know. Like,
Why aren't you on the view screen? Why aren't you on speakers?
But yeah, no, most aspects of this week's episode I like. They're repainting all the knives on the logos so they're all evil. They're all putting on the new costumes.
Trading in their little comm badges.
Yeah. No,
Wait, they're not comm badges.
look, I think it's
badges.
I think it's, yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. Fuck me.
I wish Saru had more to do in this episode.
If anything, I think, yeah, Saru probably got the short end of the stick this week.
He made 2 plot points and then...
He basically, at the very start, says something. Yeah, I wrote it down for you. The Vulcans must be the ones who destroyed those Klingons. That's virtually all he says. He's kind of in a flap on the bridge and then basically doesn't really contribute
Yeah.
again. So, poor Saru, but I mean, that actor, he really...
Well, you know, he might have been busy filming that other movie that he's in now.
I was going to say, that actor over-delivered so much in the first season. I mean, he really was the best. Him and Lorca were really the only reason
I want
was
to see
watching.
that new movie,
he in?
The Shape of Water. It's about a sea creature
It sounds fucking terrible.
played by... What? All I've said is it's called The Shape of Water and there's a sea creature.
That could end badly.
Yeah, but how can you judge that it's a terrible film?
If I was making a trailer for this Shape of Water movie that you're
Yeah,
telling me about,
yeah.
I wouldn't put, what's their name, Hall & Oates as the music. It wouldn't be that kind of trailer. It would be...
It's actually kind of a bit of a love story between the evil monster in the tank and the the mute girl who is, like, cleaning the tank.
Oh, so it's kind of like that Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Sure, but with Doug Jones as
The phone.
the phone.
Alright.
They should put that tagline on the posters.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to talk about Star Wars too much because we did do a big video about Star Wars.
We did.
On our other channel. I didn't link to it like I said I was going to, but
Did you? Was that a thing you were going to do?
I said I was going to link to it.
Oh, well, I mean...
who
anyway,
cares?
it doesn't really matter.
Do you like The Last Jedi?
I love The Last Jedi. I've only seen it once. You've seen it twice.
I've seen it twice. I liked it better the second time, and I loved it the first time, so...
What... unless there was something you actually wanted to say about Last Jedi, or something else I was going to bring up.
I think the internet is full of shit. Everyone...
Oh, yeah, look, Star Wars
everyone on
fans
the
are
internet
stupid.
is
They basically... They're never going to be happy. Give them what they want, they complain. Give them something new, they complain. It's blah, blah. It's all a terrible cliche.
It's very...
And I feel almost bad being a part of it. I just want to enjoy a movie.
It's very
now and then.
saddening. And it's happening with Star Trek as well. You know,
Yeah.
people are comparing it to the Orville and saying the Orville's better. And
Here's the
it
thing.
definitely isn't.
Listen, I could understand the Orville being like kind of just a presentation of what they think Star Trek should be like. Which is fine. Maybe they like that. But when people talk about it being an aspirational show about the future, that I really don't get, because the characters, and I've said this before, but I have to say it again because no one's listening. These aren't people I aspire to be with. They're not the people I enjoy spending time with in the future. They're not funny. They're not... I mean, I don't want anything to do with them. How is that a glimpse of the future?
It's one of those things where, like, people want TNG again.
Yeah.
And this show is TNG again.
Yeah.
And I think it's very easy to do that. Like, it would be very easy if you were tasked with, can you just make TNG, add in...
Yeah.
Well, you don't even have to add in, like, any minorities or anything. Just have a white guy be the captain and and a robot and a big black guy. And then, just do some just Star Trek stories that have already been done. Because every episode that I've seen, at least, the first 4 episodes were all rehashes of other stuff that's already been done.
Yeah.
And, you know, just throwing some dick jokes. And that's really easy, and I don't think people are
That's what I don't
being
understand.
critical enough of it.
If this is a passion thing for Seth MacFarlane, why is it so lazy?
Exactly.
Like, why did he just open up a flipper book of Star Trek episodes and go, I want to do that one and that one? It's like,
Let's do The Measure of a Man, but make it be about gender instead.
a topic that he clearly could not navigate with a map and a flashlight. It was really painful. I tried watching a bit of that. Courtroom episodes are always shit.
I was being very nice to it at the start, but, like, in hindsight, But I was only being nice to it because the first few episodes of Discovery were shit. So
Yeah. Look, I don't know. You know, here's the thing. I don't think people actually want TNG but made now. I think they just want a feeling. They want to be however old they were in 1988 again. I'm sorry, guys. Can't happen.
And it's the same thing. People want... Actually, I don't even know what they want.
I don't know what they
want out of Star Wars because that was Star Wars. Like, I don't...
What they didn't want was a movie that actively made fun of them. They didn't want Mark Hamill throwing the $400,000 lightsaber over his shoulder, and they didn't want him saying, "You guys really want me to charge in there with my laser sword?" Because he was basically saying that at the audience. It was a movie that basically, at every turn, made fun of all the stuff they'd been jerking off over for the past 2 years. Like, it made fun of Kylo Ren's voice.
Yeah.
It made fun of everything. It was really quite maybe not clever, but I don't know. I can't disagree with its creative choices. I mean, as I was watching the movies for the old characters, I'm sad they're all dead now. But at the same time, I mean, you know, fuck it.
I was not watching it for the old characters. I'm very open about this. I don't give a shit about them. Like,
no, I did.
If I came into these new movies
before I saw it, I was.
Yeah.
And after watching it, I was sad. But now that I've had like a month to get over it, it's kind of like, well, yeah, you know, I'm cool with it.
Even going into The Force Awakens, like,
Yeah.
if I went into that and The Last Jedi and the old characters were the heroes of everything that happened,
Well, they couldn't carry the movie themselves. I mean, they are too old now.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that I feel like people want, though, because they're like, Luke didn't do anything. He was just an old man on an island. It's like, of course he was. It's not his movie. It's about new characters. Do you see the scene with Rey? And... Spoilers for whatever. Fuck it. It's been out for a month.
Yeah.
If you cared, you would have watched.
I like how long that pause was.
I was about to say that scene with the lightsaber fight, but it's like,
Yeah,
anyway,
look, I don't know.
you know what I'm talking about.
People suck, and they've just got to lighten up and stop being so critical. Welcome to the Federation
The
conversation.
same thing happened
Star Trek
when people were talking about Tangled and Frozen. It never happened. It never happened because Tangled is obviously the superior.
This is just something I wanted to bring up before we stop. But I don't know when we're stopping. Have we got anything more to talk about this
Close
episode?
to stopping, yeah.
What was the name of that show that did the Star Trek parody for its first episode?
It was Black Mirror.
I was going to watch that so that I could get up to speed. Unfortunately, I didn't. Can you, fill me in very quickly on... Is that better Star Trek than the Orville? I feel like...
No, it's not really Star Trek. It's like... It's like a... They have a parody of TOS on it.
Okay, yeah.
And it's amusing the way they do it.
And is it a better parody than Seth MacFarlane?
I mean, it's very cheesy the way they do it.
Oh, okay.
But it's meant to be because it's like
All right.
doing TOS, you know.
Fair enough.
And generally, Black Mirror, like, I've seen like a bunch of episodes, and half of them I don't like because it's just, you know, it's like a it's like Twilight Zone, but like
That's what I asked you the other day.
sometimes
Is it
the
like
episode
Twilight
concepts
Zone?
just aren't good, you know, and they're just boring.
Yeah.
But this episode I really liked. It's got Matt Damon in it.
coming
It's got
back
the guy
to-
from Westworld in it.
I've told you about this one before, but
I think you should watch it anyway.
I don't know if I've told you
It's a
guys
good
about this
episode.
before. But
It's my
coming
favourite
back to-
episode of Black
Coming
Mirror.
back to Mark Hamill for a minute, not Twilight Zone, but he was on Amazing Stories, and he was an amazing episode where he was this guy that was hoarding and collecting junk,
Yeah.
like you wouldn't believe, and his parents kick him out of home, and he's out in the desert, and he's old, and all he has is his junk, and then someone buys it all off him, and he becomes rich. But it's great. Mark Hamill's in that.
Sorry. Is Amazing Stories like a supernatural thing, or...?
No,
Okay.
It was like a...
That's what I was expecting.
It was like Twilight Zone in that it was kind of like different premises for every episode.
Yes.
I mean, I think I've got a sound from that. This is the scene where Mark Hamill's out the front of his house with all the junk,
Yeah.
and his parents are kicking him out.
Don't you care that you're killing your father?
He's killing himself.
How old is he?
Like 40, I don't know. Anyway,
He's a lot older than I thought he would be.
honestly, the problem with an episode of the show that I actually like is that I think it gives me less to say. I've got more to complain about when the show's crap.
Definitely. Like, I had all these things like, the scene where he does the Scottish accent. That was good.
It's good.
Yeah.
These scenes all get ticks from me. No, but basically,
The scene where Ash was Vok.
bottom line,
I like that.
All you got to do now is go onto every blog that's saying, "Well, I really don't like the trope where they killed all that stuff." Ignore it. It's a fine episode. These people are just disturbed.
They still have one of the main characters is still a gay guy. Like,
He's just single now.
now he has to deal with
Now he's single and he wants to mingle.
being a gay widower. You know, it's
You know what? It's a trope that I don't like is characters that are whatever he's doing now, like speaking in visions. Their eyes are opaque.
Yeah, I don't really like that.
I don't like it when kids are in movies and they start doing that stuff. Oh, what is it?
I don't really like that aspect of it because
It's a waste of an actor.
the way he's speaking, it's like, don't go into the palace. I know for, like, you can tell for a fact that that's going to be very literal later on in the series. Like, Captain...
What's he going to go to a real palace?
Yeah, Emperor Giorgio is going to invite
To the palace.
Oh, I didn't even
thought of
Michael
that.
Burnham to the palace. And then he's going to be saying, don't go into the palace. And, like, in hindsight, it's going to be like, whoa, he was talking about that. But
I hadn't even thought of that. I would have been much
I
happier.
would rather him just speaking in weird metaphors
no,
and
I
just
just
not
took-
making any sense.
I just took 1 star off this episode's rating.
Because, yeah, it's going to be very literal. There's going to be a palace.
I just
The
thought of
enemy's
something.
near. Look, oh, he's a Klingon.
I did just think of one more thing though. You know how in the first chunk of the season there was the scene where John
Yep.
Stamets, what's his fucking name? The actor
Anthony Rapp.
Anthony Rapp is in the shuttle lecturing Burnham about the universe, and there's that funny part. They did that
Where
again.
he's got his hands up.
They did that again. I can't remember what character or what scene it was. No, hang on. I would have given it a time code. I must have. There was no. That's the silly one. This one here, it's around 30-45 into the episode, Ash Tyler does this same footage. What it is they've cut a bit of footage, but they've left a bit of each side, on each side of the
So
cut.
that they reused...
Yeah.
Hang on.
And David's going to watch it now. just so that he knows what I'm
30-45.
talking about. Yeah.
We'll put it up on the video.
Yeah, I'll insert this for you. He's talking to Captain Colbert. Watch Ash Tyler. watch this next... I mean...
He also folded his arms like 3 times.
I understand it's a lot of work putting out these shows in such a short time frame, but you guys are going to get a little snappier with the editing. It's people,
To be honest, I didn't notice that.
people know.
Scotty knows.
Anyway,
Scotty.
so that's episode 10 of Discovery.
That's episode 10 of Discovery, episode 9 of the Federation Conversation.
I didn't actually have an excuse for being out of it today. I mean, I did take some...
You said you had headache tablets.
Yeah, but they weren't the strong ones, though.
Well, you got to think of something better next time. Cause
Yeah, maybe I'm just getting senile. You know what it is? We're not really actively making videos anymore, and I'm really quite out of practice doing the whole talking on camera thing.
yeah, like the
no,
only
no.
time I talk to people is on PUBG. So.
I have to tell not even at work.
No, I don't talk to people at work.
Patrick Bateman headphones on. Yeah, no, not a lot of enthusiasm for the old video hobby at the moment.
Well,
Well, we put out all that great PUBG and nobody gave a shit.
it happens.
Yeah, no, you swing and a miss. It's all right.
I was about to say motorboating, but I don't think that's what I mean. I was motorboating that Minecraft stuff out while we were doing. That's not the word I meant. But yeah,
Thinking about Captain Tilly again.
sometimes you just put videos out and people don't watch.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. No, I think it's just a general lack of enthusiasm. I can't really blame PUBG for it. I was actually just very happy that, I set my mind to it, put them out. They're done now.
You had your mind
I can forget about
on
it. And now find something else to do.
I gotta stop recording funny stuff that we do during PUBG.
You can. No, you can. It's just, I don't know what we're going to do with it.
Alright, so that was episode
Anyway,
9
I'm sorry.
of
I
this show.
apologise for being a bit of a dud this podcast, David. I'm sorry about it.
I was also a dad.
We got to do it on Mondays.
Well, we haven't done it for 8 weeks.
Yeah,
We're out of practice.
Next time,
Not that we were doing an
we're going to
amazing
do it
job
on the
the first
Monday,
time.
and while I can still remember what's happened. in
Yes,
the
we
show.
are a bit late this week, but whatever. Anyway, thanks guys for watching.
Take it easy. There's going to be an audio version because I do them now.
There's going to be an audio version.
Yeah, well, I put them all up on Mediafire. Was it?
On Mediafire.
They sound great.
Good old Mediafire. Look, one day we might actually organise it to be on a podcast aggregate or
I
something.
even decrackled the one that was crackling.
Scotty's a master decrackler.
I've got a filter.
That's what I've always said about you. You're good at the decrackling.
That's what a lot of people say about me, David, is that I have a filter.
You have a great filter.
Yeah, exceptional.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, guys.
See
Bye
ya.
bye.
See ya. Bye. I forgot to talk about this.
Oh,
But
I just fucked off to the kitchen. He's apparently forgot something.
I forgot about it. I just remembered it watching this scene.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying this is another theory that the internet came up with that
Yeah.
is probably true because the internet knows everything.
Yeah.
And they talked about it before. But what the fuck is his name? I'm trying to think. I'm just stalling to think of his name.
Federation?
Lorca.
Oh, Lorca. Yeah.
is from the mirror universe. Like, calm down, Scotty.
Whoa! Slow down.
Whoa! Our Lorca that we've come to know and love
good Lorca is actually bad Lorca?
is from the mirror universe. That's why he was looking into the spore drive. That's why he was looking into the mirror universe. That's why he put in the coordinates at the end of the last episode. Yeah, he said, let's go home. And then he put in the coordinates to the mirror universe. And Lorca in the mirror universe has disappeared. Presumed dead.
Ah. It's plausible, but I don't know if it holds up, though.
I think it makes sense.
It's just so
Also, apparently, when he was talking to Admiral Cornwell... I knew I was going to
Admiral Cornmeal.
I knew I was going to pronounce that incorrectly. I didn't know what was going to come out.
Have I got sugar on my mustache? I just ate a donut. Okay. Yeah.
No, there's no reason I'm staring at your mouth. I don't know why I'm doing that. Apparently, they were talking about a date they had, and he couldn't remember the details while they were talking about it.
Ooh.
And also, she's like, "You're a different man now," to what I used to know. There's all these clues.
I mean, this is no less believable to me than the Ashes Vok one when I first heard of it and the show hadn't screamed it at me from the rooftops.
The thing is, by the end of this season, because I assume they're not going to get rid of Lorca.
I hope not. He's the only actor I like on the show.
So I'm going to stop clicking my fingers as well. So they're going to have Ash Tyler, who's really a Klingon and is dealing with that. They're going to have him, who's an imposter from the mirror universe, and they're going to be dealing with that.
Yeah.
They're going to have probably, well, I mean, Stamets is some weird space alien.
Dimension jumper now.
Dimension jumper.
Yeah. With a dead boyfriend.
Culber is probably going to be the evil counterpart, or something's going to happen.
It would make him more
I don't know, he was a guest star in this episode. I saw that.
To be fair, getting his neck snapped was probably the most interesting thing he's done on the show.
Well, he's so nice, though.
He was very nice.
I like
He's
him.
nice, but interesting, not so much.
I like it. I just want him to just to stay there.
Stamets.
I just want him to stay in the show. Anyway, and
Yeah.
and Michael Burnham, who's fucked up as well.
Yeah.
And Tilly's there too.
She's just a walking pain in the ass. She's
It's like
probably
the whole crew is going to be fucked up by the end of the season. It's like,
oh my god, that's a chilling possibility with a whole bridge crew of fucked up people. not a normal one among them. They're all just a complete mess.
I hope by the end of the season,
Yeah.
the Klingon War is done with.
Well, it is, isn't it? I mean, they blew up that ship.
Well, it's not done yet. They have to get the space numbers back to Starfleet so that they can detect the cloaks.
Oh yeah.
They're about to do that, and then they got sent to the mirror universe. They have to get back.
They get sent to Miramar.
Miramar, yeah. So I hope the Klingon thing is over by the end of the season.
Yeah.
The next episode is called The Wolf
That's next week's episode.
Within or something. Can you guess who that's about?
Well, all I remember is that the next time on Discovery thing shows you. I mean, you can play it if you want.
I haven't actually seen it.
There's a bit of Goatee Sarek, so Goatee Sarek is your go-to guy in the Mirror Universe.
There's fear.
Wait for it.
Can you continue to
Like the
pretend
music. There's Andorians.
even as little by little?
Even in the Mirror Universe, he can't act.
He's fighting the Klingon.
Maybe none of us
Ah!
really know what darkness is waiting inside.
Inside.
There's things I
I
like.
I like not seeing that. 'Cause
Yeah?
It's always edited really.
Oh.
You know,
See, I've been watching them every week.
patronisingly.
I've just happened to see. Why don't you have them again? It's because you watch it on Netflix.
I watch it
or-
on Netflix. They don't have the.
See, I've been seeing them
time.
every week. So
Anyway, that was all I wanted to say.
Yeah,
I just
fine.
wanted to float that theory because I hope that by next episode, it's not revealed.
I hope by the next episode it's a completely different show that's not pulling all the same tricks on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Enterprise is bad. Enterprise is bad. Enterprise is not good.